and to make sure that all the road users are safe on the roads. So, Your Excellency, today we have two activities. First, this activity here is the cycling, and the next activity will be happening in Karura. I'll give Cecilia to give us the route, how we're going to go. But the next, generally, environment and climate action, we are, our aim is to bring a women-led climate action, and we are using both the general public, and we're using activities, physical activities, to bring the general public to be aware that they are supposed to take care of the environment. So, Your Excellency, generally, that is what we do as a department, and we have a lot of other activities that we'll be discussing at the tree planting exercise that will be happening in Karura. But just to bring to the awareness of the public and to the cyclists today that this is an awareness campaign to make the road users aware that we are supposed to share the road. Otherwise, thank you very much, and God bless you.
Yeah, thank you, Rotich. And Your Excellency, we are lucky, just like your leadership, the captain of the race, of the ride today, sorry, is a lady. And I want to invite Cecilia to tell us about the race, give us the routes, and give us the do's and don'ts, and then tell us how we go from here. Thank you. Welcome, Cecilia.
Thank you. Thank you, Oscar. Your Excellency, the First Lady, our PS, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Welcome to our cycling event today. I will spend just a few minutes to let us know of the route. So from here, we will be outridden by the bikers, and we will leave State House through Gate C, as you can see. We will go to State House Road, proceed to University Way, roundabout. From there, we'll go to Uhuru Highway, then Museum Hill Interchange. We'll then proceed to Professor Wangari Maathai. We will then go to Parklands Road, then access Karura Forest through the Limuru Gate. Like we've spoken before, it's really an awareness ride, so we need to stick together as a group. We will have an escort car behind us and also one leading us. So just like we do in all awareness rides, we will stick between the shielding cars and also between our marshals. Thank you, and enjoy the day.
Thank you. Thank you, Cecilia, and thank you for the good work that you've been doing with the cycling. So at this point, I want to welcome Your Excellency, one of our partners, that is AAR. And I want to give a minute to the CEO to give his remarks. And I know we are very glad that you are with us today, and thank you for your support. Bona CEO.
Thank you. Your Excellency, PS, all protocols observed. When we heard about this event, we were very excited because cycling, as you know, is something that promotes preventative, is a form of preventative health action. Through cycling, one of the leading causes of illness or hospital admissions is what we call non-communicable diseases. And this, by cycling, you promote health, you prevent high blood pressure, diabetes, amongst other diseases or conditions. Having said that, cycling can be a double-edged sword, and that is why I'm very excited that the organizers of this event, because again, trauma is also a leading cause of sickness and death. And cyclists are very prone to this. So by promoting this activity, we hope we can get the benefits of prevention of non-communicable diseases, but also raise awareness so that cyclists, us, I included, use this road safely. So asante sana, and I look forward to this.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We also lucky, Your Excellency, that he's also a cyclist. So it looks like the cyclist community is big. They just need to come together and know each other. Your Excellency, we are lucky that our PS, Jonathan Mweke, was a deputy governor of Nairobi. So he knows Nairobi very well. and he knows the challenges cyclists have. I know he made an effort then to work on non-motorized transport, and now he's in charge of the non-motorized transport you are launching today. So I want to give him a chance to say something to us and tell us what are you expecting from your ministry, especially to our cycling. Thank you. Welcome, Bwana PS.
Asante sana, Your Excellency, the First Lady, CEO for AAR Hospital, all cyclists and invited guests, good morning. Like you've heard, my name is Jonathan Mweke, Principal Secretary in the State Department for Sports. Your Excellency, thank you very much for your gratitude in gracing this occasion to flag off the cyclists. We've heard what the agenda of the day is, and really it's about road awareness and ensuring that our cyclists are safe on our roads, which is extremely a very, very good cause. So Your Excellency, we thank you for being part of such a noble cause. We've heard from the CEO here, cycling has some very serious health benefits. Indeed, it's a form of cardio, and it prevents lifestyle diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, and so on. So cyclists are generally very healthy people, and we want to promote that amongst our population so that we can stay healthy and we can keep our population productive by being out of hospitals. We know that cyclists share the road with motorists, and there's a very big need for awareness for our motorists to look out for cyclists, and also have our roads designed for non-motorized transport. Indeed, like you've heard, when I served as the Deputy Governor of Nairobi, we championed a lot NMT, which is non-motorized transport, by making some of our streets accessible for the majority of people in the country who walk, and also some of our new roads, especially the bypasses, putting cycling lanes. But I must admit that we've not done enough, and this is a culture that we need, Your Excellency, to support a little bit more so we can have roads that are safe for our cyclists. Indeed, in more developed nations, especially in Europe, cycling is a mode of transportation. People cycle to work. And that really helps our environment because it reduces pollution. So this is something that we really would like to champion as a government so that we can also reduce our pollution here in Kenya. As a Ministry of Sports, we recognize cycling as a sport. And I actually have on my desk right now a request, Your Excellency, from the Cycling Federation of Kenya to support some of the cycling activities which we are looking at, and indeed we are going to endeavor to support those. Your Excellency, I know you also have an interest in cycling, and you'll be having a cycling event sometime in the coming months, and we will also support that so that we can also just increase cycling as a sport. In Kenya, we are known as a sporting giant globally, and we are a sporting nation. And we are here to develop and support sports, especially through our flagship program, which Your Excellency is called Talanta Hela, where we want to monetize sports so that our young men and women who are in the sporting industry and have talents for various kinds of sports, we are able to nurture that talent, develop it, and monetize it so that it can be a source of income and a source of livelihood, pretty much just to put money in the pockets of our talent young Kenyans. So with those many remarks, I wish all the cyclists well as you cycle to Karura. Please be safe on the roads. And again, as the Ministry of Sports, myself and our Minister, the Honorable Ababu Namwamba, will support the Cycling Federation and the cyclists here in Kenya. I'd like to take this opportunity as my singular honor to now invite the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Her Excellency Mama Rachel Ruto, to make her remarks. Karibu, Your Excellency.
Thank you so much. PS for Sports. CEO AR, and the other doctor that came with you. Oh, I think she's there. The cyclists and everyone present here. Good morning. Good morning again. I first of all want to welcome you to State House. We used to be on the other side. But by God's grace, we are now here, and it's really exciting to see that the cycling activities can continue. I see many of you that are very familiar to me, and of course, many others that are in the cycling community. So we're very excited this morning just to have this race, racing or rather riding to Karura Forest as part of the activities of the International Women's Week. And I want to thank all the women that are here, and I want to thank the men that have come to support the women. We're very excited because like our peers has told us, we have been advocating for a just road system and non-motorized transport. When we look at our cities and when we look at our roads, they may not be friendly right now, like our peers has told us, but we know that going forward, we have a government, we have a county government that is very supportive to these activities. And so we are trusting God that going forward, many Nairobians will be actually cycling to work, because as much as we may have all the beautiful roads, we are cognizant of the fact that not everybody has a car. There are more people that walk to work, especially when you look at people that come from the informal settlements, that they have to walk long distances to go just look for work and what they can do for the day. And yet these are the people that are forgotten. So we are really trusting God that going forward, the roads can be friendly so that we can have everybody use the best means of transport that they wish. You know, the ones that want to walk can walk, the ones that want to cycle can cycle, the ones that want to use the motorbikes can do so, and the ones that want to use the vehicles can do so. And one of the things that I really appreciate about cycling, like our CEO for AR has told us, is the health benefits that come with it. We have a government, we have a Ministry of Health, and sometimes you realize that a lot of budget has been put into this ministry for diseases that can be prevented by just cycling, and our doctor calls them preventive means and ways of trying to at least make sure that we are of good health. So we just want to encourage Kenyans to be able to use these means that do not cost money, so that at least our health can improve, or even our health can be better. So even as you cycle this morning to Karura Forest, we are also going to be planting trees, because we know that we are experiencing very challenging times in terms of drought. I'm sure you are aware that we are experiencing a drought that we have not experienced in the last 40 years. And cycling is one of the ways where we are going to make sure that our environment is also protected and our environment is clean. Because when we cycle, you know, we don't pollute the air. So even as we'll be going to Karura Forest, I'll be joining you later so that we can plant trees in support of the President's program of the tree restoration program, where our president has told us that we are going to be planting 15 billion trees in the next 10 years, 5 billion trees in these first 5 years, and God willing, another 10 billion in the next 10 years, so that at least we can have 30% forest cover from the current 8.83% that we have. So we're calling upon all Kenyans, and especially us cyclists, to be able to do that. And what our CS has been advocating is that instead of just celebrating a birthday and just, you know, cutting cakes, let's also plant trees even during our birthdays. I know right now we may be wondering, maybe my birthday was January, February, March, there's no rain, but at least when the rains come, you can compensate if your birthday has already passed. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, ladies. The bikers, I think that's what you call yourselves. So you look very nice as usual, and we are also very proud of the work that you are doing just to bring the awareness on the road. And we pray that the Lord will continue to protect you and also protect the cyclists. Please have a safe ride to Karura, and we shall be joining you later just to make sure that we conclude this event together very well. So thank you so much, and may the Lord bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you for the support you have had. Our CEO had forgotten the bike on the other side, so we had to make sure that he does not get left behind. So thank you, Bonatinega, for that. So just to give us more roundup as we get ready for Her Excellency's flag off, there will be a vehicle that will be ahead. You can see a media vehicle there. Her Excellency provided for us to be live as we cycle to Karura. I should have wanted to cycle with us, but she felt if she cycles with us, there will be no sharing of the road. So she decided to stay behind to allow others share the road with you. So we will give you front escort. It will be live on her page all through, so that even the Kenyans are not cycling. We'll have a backup vehicle in the back, stay in the middle. We have our bikers ahead of us to give us marshalling. You're going to be safe. You're going to be safe, and we have been prayed for. So I think I want to request everyone to get into position right now. Let's get everyone in position right now so that we can cycle. Make sure everyone is in position so that we can have Her Excellency flag off. Yeah. So you can have Her Excellency flag off. Are our bikers ready? Get into position. Our media team, get ready. I know the sound vehicle will be behind. So our live team is going ahead so that they can take pictures of you as you do this. And we are ready. So once Her Excellency flags, we just capture. So is everyone in position? Bikers, I want to get the sound of the engines so they can know we are ready to flag off. Okay, get the engines running, get the engines running. Good. That's the sound I wanted to hear now. Now we are ready. Okay. So, Your Excellency, it's a singular honor to have you flag off this another time so that now you can start cycling slowly as you pass the flag. I want on very slow motion if you can. Yes. Yeah, the bikers, please, let's move. Let's move slowly, bikers. Bikers, let's move slowly. Cyclists, are you ready? Cyclists, are you ready? Yes. Okay. Asanteni, tuonane Karura. Yes. Woo! Yeah, see you in Karura, and everyone will be safe because they will be sharing of the road. Asante.
Tunangojea wengine. Sasa enda tu pole tukiwangojea. Move. Yeah. Good one. Wazi. Modongo. Kamodongo. Wajui hata Kamodongo ni nani. Recovery. On Sunday you won't recover. So today they just like wazi. Hao ni wasichana wetu wa hapa Kenya. Sisi tumetoka na hapo. Hao ni wetu wa hapa. Na tunajivunia hao sana. Tunawajivunia. Siku Chingo. Huyu ni Aterere anaitwa Wanjiko. Huyu ni Wanjiko. Wengine wanapanga waoga kuendesha motorbike. Watu wanapanga wenzangu pia kutoka Eastern huko pia wanajituma mapema. Sijataja mtu. Wao wanajituma mapema. No. Haya, there is a claim. Oh yeah, exactly. Wana pia check. Wewe kati kwa line yako. Continue. Yes. Stop. Nimeangalia list but sijaangalia. Pole. Mtu amerenew license.
That is very dear to me at a personal level. So we are honored and glad to be participating in this event, and we hope to partner more and more to just ensure that we continue promoting health, because health begins with sisi wenyewe. Your Excellency, as part of walking the talk, I would like to state that my team will be doing the health checks for the various members. And also, we have participated by contributing to the 250 seedlings that have been planted today. We look forward to partnering even more and contributing even more in this very noble agenda. Asanteni sana, and looking forward.
Thank you, CEO, for the contribution, and thank you for the support. I know this is just a start, and there are very, very many things we'll do together. And we will plant a lot of trees, as you said when you are starting off the ride. When you see people cycling and planting trees, unfortunately you have less customers, but it's good for all of us. So we want to have people not sick, and some of these things we can solve because people can cycle and you can plant more trees, and thank you for that. At this point, I want to call our CEO, Dr. John Chumo, to come over and tell us about Mama Doing Good organization, an initiative in the Office of the First Lady that is delivering on her programs. Can we clap for our CEO? Karibu sana daktari.
Thank you so much, MC. Your Excellency, First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Madam Mrs. Rachel Ruto, the PS in charge of sports, our friend Mwek, the ambassador, Your Excellency, Yo Sang, yes, and your spouse, the CEO, my colleague from AAR, the cyclists who are here, who are actually think the chief case, because you are the ones who are waiting for you to come to the field. I want to take this opportunity, Your Excellency, to welcome you and also to thank you most sincerely to having gotten time to be with us, and also with the cyclists who are actually very encouraging, and I'm sure the whole world and the whole Kenya is actually watching you and actually looking at the way we are actually moving forward to reduce the emissions. Your Excellency, before I continue, I want to introduce the team from the Mama Doing Good. You can stand wherever you are. Yes, I know. Yes, just say hi to everybody. Yes, thank you so much for the good work that you have actually come to do with us here. Your Excellency, I want to say that Mama Doing Good is a vehicle that is actually running the programs within the office with the First Lady of this Republic. And the programs that we have very many, a good number of programs. One of it is actually what we are referring as Mama Cycling. And in the office of office of First Lady, Mama Doing Good, we have the first one, which is actually Women Economic Empowerment. I think I'm happy that the MC has talked about the women. And I'm also happy that I think a good number of the cyclists who are here today are actually women. And therefore, this week, as we celebrate the Women's Day of the International Day of Women, we are actually using cyclists as one of the activities before tomorrow. And I think let's clap for the women of this world and for the women of Kenya. Your Excellency, we believe and we know once we have the women who are happy, the women who are actually energetic, who are actually healthy, then the nation is also held and the nation is actually going to move forward. And therefore, I think the women who are here, you need to clap for me because I've actually said what we actually said in our heart. Your Excellency, women economic empowerment, which is actually one of our pillars, has many activities. One of it is actually to ensure that the women of this country are actually economically empowered. Most of the time, and I think for those of us who live in this country, for some time, you've realized for some time women have not been given, they have always been excluded. You go, for example, for you want a bank loan, for example. The first thing you'll be asked is a lot of questions. Who are you? Where do you come from? Who is your husband? Where is your chief? And those kind of things. And that is why Our Excellency fell through what we call double banking, that women needs to be included, and such pensions should be what? Should be reduced to the minimum. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. That you'll be asked a lot of questions, even if you don't have say, you'll be asked, what mse? And it's not your mistake. Sinivo. Maybe mse alitoroka. That is not your mistake. So I think that is actually why we are actually saying that you should be able to have that what you call the financial inclusion, and that's actually what we are actually doing with women economic empowerment through table banking. We have about 11,000 women groups across the country. We have now around almost 39, 40 counties within the country, and we have almost 200,000 women who are actually involved in the women economic empowerment, the table banking. And I'm sure the women, the young ladies who are here, I encourage you to join groups so that you can also increase the base and actually have what we are actually talking about, the approach, the bottom-up approach, and therefore we really improve our economy. We are also saying it is a high time now that we do business. We have these groups should also be able to have business from one community to the other, one county to the other, one town to the other, and we are actually doing that through women economic empowerment. We have those groups I've mentioned, and they're actually working very closely. I want also to say this, that out of that, we have serious revolving fund within those tables. And therefore, I want to call upon the women of this country to join us, just as they join other groups, to ensure that this is actually one of the way of actually improving our economy. Ladies and gentlemen, women economic empowerment, we also have capacity building. We are also increasing the livelihoods of women. And I know Charity, who is here from the forest, know that we have women who are involved in what we call the tree nurseries. That is actually the nature enterprises. We are also having forests like this across the country. We beekeeping. We know, Your Excellency, that this country has a high potential of actually producing high quality honey that can actually be supplied to the country and can also be exported. We want to increase that base by actually having our women through those groups doing that kind of a job. Your Excellency, I'm also informing, especially the people who are meeting us for the first time, Mama Doing Good, that we have what we call environment and climate action. And today, one of the things we are doing today is actually to bring awareness on the issues to do with awareness of climate change. Climate change has been a reality. It has been an issue that is actually causing a lot of harm, not only in Kenya, but across the world. We are actually seeing in Kenya, for example, that in the last almost 3 or 4 months, we have seen almost 6 million Kenyans actually facing starvation because of the problem of drought. And I think as a country and as one of the initiatives in the Office of the First Lady and through Mama Doing Good, we have actually come up with actions to do. And one of it is actually to do afforestation programs. And Your Excellency, today with the ambassador and everybody here, we have actually seen that we can be able to add value to actually plant the trees across the country. One is that His Excellency the President has actually talked about increasing our forest cover from the current forest cover from the current 8.83 to actually going to 30% by the year 2032. And that cannot be done only by the government. It will be done by everybody. And as Mama Doing Good, we are actually going to ensure that we also participate in planting more trees across the country. We have our own percentage that we want to plant with the stakeholders, with friends like AAR, with friends like the cyclists who are here today, the friends of Karura, and many others who are actually going to work and talk with us. And therefore, we want to, through Mama Doing Good, Environment and Climate Action, we are going to do afforestation programs. And I want to thank the KFS and the friends of Karura because of the space that they have given us. And Your Excellency, we have also promised that when the rains start, raining, we are going to have at least an area that is actually going to be dedicated for Mama Doing Good, just like any other. Your Excellency, you know you have adopted Kakamega Forest. And that Kakamega Forest, we also want to see where we can also have we adopt part of this, as Mama Doing Good, we also adopt part of Karura Forest. And the friends of Karura have also told us they can get us some space. Though they are saying they have planted a lot of trees, but I see you can lift us, you need to be removing slowly so that we can have better trees around here. With Mama Doing Good, we are also saying that for us to appreciate what you call the circular economy, we are actually involved in ensuring that we introduce new technologies. Like, for example, we know that the organic waste that we have, we should not be just wasting it. We should not be actually throwing them in the dump site. We should actually be able to change it in terms of converting it to better use or recycling, reusing it. And therefore, we have the mechanisms. We are actually working with the county government, for example, of Nairobi and other counties to ensure that we do recycling, we encourage recycling, and all of them, the women will be brought on board so that they can actually participate in reducing the waste and ensuring that the environment is actually clean. I want to call upon the cyclists who are here that wherever you go, wherever you are, be a good ambassador. I've seen the only thing we can do, some of you, for example, as you do, you should be able, as you cycle, if you see somebody throwing waste along the road, I call upon you to stop and tell that person that they're actually doing wrong. If we do that, we are going to make this country a clean country, and we are going to make it a clean environment for all of us. And I think this, I'm calling upon everybody to do that. Using Mama Doing Good, we also have the other aspect of climate adaptation. And this is actually introducing the issue of biomass, transiting from biomass to clean energy. We have this forest. If we add, and we have a community living around, if they continue using firewood, if they continue burning charcoal, then we are going to reduce this forest. But then if we actually encourage clean energy, like for example, clean stoves, biogas, the LPG, and all that, I'm sure this forest will survive and we shall increase our forest cover. That is actually one of the activities that we are doing as Mama Doing Good. And I want to call upon all of us. Let us have the support, and we can make our country a clean, energy, resilient country. And I'm sure the only people who are going to do that are actually all of us. It is not the government alone. It's not Mama Doing Good alone. It is not KFS. It is not Kefri. It is everybody. And I'm sure AAR, wherever you are going around, also do the same for us. And Pana PS, we want to appreciate you because with the support of sports, if we bring in sports and we bring in conservation, then I'm sure all of us will participate in conserving our environment. Thank you as you actually do that for us as a country. At the same time, we are also planning that I know in the near future, you will be seeing the youth and especially the children. We have actually come up with what we call the climate change climate change award, which is actually championed and by Her Excellency, the First Lady. It is on GOS, and the students in primary and secondary school are going to be involved, so that we can actually have children from nursery and up to high school. Once they understand the issue of climate change, when they understand the issue of conservation, sisi tukiwa wasasi, we shall not have a problem. We shall not have. We are not going to have room to destroy our environment. When they see you destroying environment, they tell you this is wrong. Sasa tunataka tutumie wanafunzi na watoto wadogo wajue maneno ya kuchunga na kuhifadhi mazingira. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the other pillar that we have with Mama Doing Good, by the way, before I forget, that's where we have Mama Cycling. Mama Cycling comes now on the issue of environmental climate action. Your Excellency, the IPPC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change of the year 2021 report, came out and said that if we go cycling, then we shall have reduced emission by 67%. You can 67%. So what you people are doing, you are actually reducing emissions. We will know that you are doing this for this country and for the world. So we want to encourage our friends from South Korea that we partner together so that we have a lot of bikes around, and therefore we shall reduce the emission by 67% in our country. And we also want to call upon, especially the Ministry of Environment, we are going to request them that whenever they are designing a road, they should design a road in such a way that they provide a lane for the cyclists, so that they can be able to have a point where they can actually do, not only in Nairobi, everywhere in this country. And I'm sure we are going to reduce the emissions, we are going to reduce the vascular diseases, and we are going to reduce problems which are actually mental. Siko hivyo? Iko sawa sawa? Asante sana. So as we move to the last pillar, which is fair diplomacy. Fair diplomacy, as we know in this country, we have several religions, and what we really want to, bring awareness is that we want to build families. We want to come up with what you call family values. Family values. Once a family is well endowed, is actually well founded on serious ground, then the community, then the country, then the world becomes solid. I know we have a problem at the moment. We have seen many things happening with families. We have pregnant families. We have families we are having people who are, having, you have a family, you have children not actually doing the right thing. We are now actually having a community or a generation that is not going to be well. And therefore, we want to, through Mama Doing Good, fair diplomacy, we encourage that we have strong families. And I'm sure when I see the young people who are here, I see young people who are around here, who are in the next, maybe by December, others will be next year. They'll be calling for us, we come for weddings. Yeah? And I think there is already one there on the other side. So we want to build strong families. But I will be surprised, and I won't attend a wedding where we have a man and a man getting married. Or a lady and another lady getting married. I think that one hiyo ni shetani, si ndivyo? Mnasema namna gani? So ndio tunasema let us build, let us have family values, and we move on well. That is actually what we are talking about, fair diplomacy. Finally, I want to say that with the fair diplomacy, we also want to encourage as we support ourselves. Whenever there is a problem, like for example drought, let us also come together. Let us support those who are vulnerable. Let us bring children who are also on the streets, sometimes assist them where we can. And therefore, Your Excellency, I want to thank you for supporting us through Mama Cycling. As we move on, we are going to have in June another very important function of cycling, and therefore it will be international. You are now starting, and I'm sure all of you will be involved, right? So thank you so much. As we start the tree planting, moving on, as we actually move around together, we thank all of you. Participate, we are going to meet, we shall be meeting as Mama Doing Good. We are going to participate together, we partner, and we move on. So tell anybody, your neighbor, Mama Doing Good. Say again, Mama Doing Good. And say, I'm doing it the right way. Mama Doing Good. And doing it the right? Thank you so much, and God bless you. Asante sana na Mungu awabariki.
Let's give our CEO a better clap. You know, our CEO passion for the environment is palpable. You can feel it in his voice. He lives it every day, and I know, Dr. very soon, we will add to our greetings the question, how many trees have you planted? So after you greet somebody, you'll check with them, how many have they planted? And the reason he's that passionate is we cannot, none of us is safe from the environment. None of us is immune from the effects of the environment change. And all of us must do something towards it. And Asante sana Daktari for the various things you're doing at the office. Of course, as our CEO said, our friends from South Korea are a little bit ahead of us in non-motorized transport. And I know we are going to have a lot of lessons to share from them. And at this point, I want to call His Excellency, the Ambassador for South Korea to Kenya, His Excellency Yeo Sung-jun, to come over and greet us and say something small. Welcome, Your Excellency. Let's give him a clap. Let's give him a better clap as he gets here. Karibu sana Balozi. Welcome, sir.
Honorable First Lady Rachel Ruto, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Korean Ambassador Sung-jun Yeo. Actually, I'm not well prepared to deliver a speech for today. Anyhow, I'm honored to be here today celebrating International Women's Day and participating in the Mama Cycling program, which aims to promote cycling as a healthy and sustainable mode of transport. As the Korean ambassador to Kenya, I'm delighted to witness the growing collaboration between our two countries in promoting gender equality and environmental conservation. As many of you may know, Korea has come a long way in transforming its landscape through reforestation policies. Just a few decades ago, our country was plagued with bold mountains and barren land. However, with the help of the government and the Korean people, we have managed to reverse this trend and create a greener and more sustainable future. I believe that cycling and tree planting are two simple yet powerful ways in which we can contribute to environmental conservation. Cycling reduces carbon emissions and improves our physical health, while planting trees helps to combat deforestation and create a better living environment for all. Therefore, I am pleased to announce that my embassy will donate bicycles worth about $200,000 to the Mama Cycling program in June. This donation is a token of our commitment to promoting sustainable development and empowering women. In conclusion, I urge us all to continue working together towards a greener and more sustainable future for ourselves and for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give a clap for our ambassador. And thank you for your commitment, for support to what Her Excellency, the First Lady, is doing. And we are very, very glad to have you here, and we welcome the gesture. At this point, I want to call, representing the Chief Conservator of Forests, our Deputy Chief Conservator, Charity Munyasia, who will give her remarks. And after she's done, she'll invite for us our PS for Sports and Arts, Jonathan Mweke. And on giving his remarks, he's going to invite for us Her Excellency, the First Lady. So, Deputy Conservator, this is your time. Let's give her a clap as she comes to give her remarks.
Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Mama Rachel Ruto, the PS Sports, Mr. Jonathan Mweke, the Ambassador, South Korea, Yo Sang-jun, CEO AR, distinguished guests, the cyclists, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning. After such cycling, we need to be more lively. I take this opportunity to say I'm here on behalf of the Acting Chief Conservator of Forests, Mr. Alexander Remakoko, who could not make it because he is doing a very serious assignment at Kenya Forest Corps in Rondiani, where he is overseeing the recruitment of this Kenya Forest Service Rangers. That was said by His Excellency the President, that we need to employ forest rangers to assist us in the conservation of our forests. And we are recruiting the 2,000 rangers, and that is why where the Acting Chief Conservator of Forest is. We want to say we welcome you to Karura Forest with the Friends of Karura Forest. This is one of the forests in the country. Out of the 2.59 million hectares of our gazetted forest areas, Karura Forest is one of them. And Karura Forest is 1043.1 hectares, and we co-manage this forest with a community forest association called the Friends of Karura Forest. This forest, for those who lived in Nairobi area, you know you could not come to Karura Forest. You feared to be marked, to be killed, and it was a den for robbers. Those who used to cycle, to travel through Kiambu Road, you remember you could not go to Kiambu after 6 because you will be taken and brought into Karura Forest for your vehicle to be cannibalized and for you to be done anything. But we thank God with the partners and the Community Forest Association and the partners like East African Foundation, East African Breweries Foundation, and the Absa Bank, we were able to be assisted to fence this forest and to make it safe and secure for the use of Kenyans. And to date, from when we fenced the forest, we had 300 visitors per month, and now we are at 50 to 60,000 visitors per year. We are very grateful for this collaboration. Karura Forest is an example of how co-management of the forest can be achieved in this nation, and as Kenya Forest Service, we are creating more green spaces for the forests near the urban areas, and also we are co-managing all our forests with the communities living near the forest. Excellency the Vice Lady, Kenya Forest Service is committed to ensuring that we achieve the 30% tree cover by 2032. This was a target that His Excellency the President brought forward from 2050 to 2032. And we are so grateful as Kenya Forest Service because you are the first person to demonstrate this action by adopting part of Kakamega Forest and planting trees. We are so honored and we are so grateful that as the mother of this nation, you have shown the Kenyans how to lead from the front. For today's purpose, we are very happy that you chose cycling and tree planting to mark the International Women's Day, and more so in Karura Forest. As KFS, we want to congratulate you for choosing Dr. Chumo as the CEO of this Mama Mama Doing Good project. Mama Doing Good program. Seen it. He is passionate, and even from the forest sector, we know him as a no-nonsense person when it comes to environmental conservation. We want to congratulate you for having the right person at the lead for the Mama Doing Good. You'll not go wrong with it, Dr. Chobo. We want to say, as Kenya Forest Service, ours is to plant trees. There's 30%. We'll achieve it by planting trees in the government forest. We have the 350,000 hectares. We will plant in the mangroves. We have 14,000 hectares to restore. We will plant in the plantations. We have 54,000 hectares to be restored. And even as the harvesting is starting, we will harvest and plant wherever the harvesting is going to be done sustainably. And we are also going to have the restoration of the degraded landscapes where we have the 2 million hectares in the agroforestry, in the farms. We'll ensure that all over the nation we are going to plant the trees, and that is where we are very happy. We are increasing the rangers and the forest officers in this nation to lead in this process. But the biggest percentage will be achieved by private people planting in their farms. We have the target of 750,000 hectares for plantations in the farms, and we believe the Kenyans are up to task and they will achieve this target. We are so grateful, Your Excellency, that today the Mama Doing Good has come to Karura Forest. We all know that it is the women of faith, it is the women of environment and climate action, it is women of socio-economics who are going to lead this nation to move forward. We want to congratulate you because we know, even when we talk about planting trees, if the woman is not taking care of that tree, the tree will not survive. If the business, the woman is not seriously involved in it, at times it doesn't survive because the women are able to see the small details which men, without due respect, may not see. Nasi kupenda kwao. That is how you men were created. And that is why God created for you a helper in the name of a woman, to be seeing the details. And in these details, we will make sure that we achieve our targets for this nation. We love the men of this nation, and we thank you for leading us from the front. We cannot be women without you men, because you make us move along the journey and to achieve. So mine is to say, as KFS, we are supporting, we are committed to the cause of the Mama Doing Good and to achieve the 30% tree cover. In addition to the Kakamega Forest site adopted, as I explained when we were out, we are removing eucalyptus, but slowly and systematically, so that we replace the Karura forest with indigenous trees. When we remove part of it, be assured that part of it will create a Mama Doing Good corner. And with this, we welcome you to be cycling in Karura Forest, where we have 30-kilometer trail for the cycling. And the cyclers here, you are welcome to cycle in Karura Forest. And with those few remarks, I want to thank you most sincerely for choosing this venue to be Karura Forest. You are welcome again and again. At this juncture, I also want to thank the COAAR for choosing to have the hospital next to Karura Forest. You have really added value to this Karura Forest by having the hospital next to Karura Forest. We are very grateful for that. For Korea, we run a lot and we'll keep learning. At this point, I want to call upon the Principal Secretary Sports, Mr. Jonathan Mweke, to come and give us his remarks. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the First Lady, Mama Rachel Ruto, Your Excellency, the Ambassador of South Korea to Kenya, CEO of Mama Doing Good, Dr. John Chumo, the Deputy Chief Conservator of KFS, Charity Munyasia, cyclists, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm delighted to join you here as the world prepares to mark yet another edition of the International Women's Day, scheduled for tomorrow, 8th March 2023. This important day dates back to the 18th century, when women's suffrage movement in the UK strived for the right of women to vote in parliamentary and general elections. Those brave women used all possible means at their disposal, including arts, debates, propaganda, protests, and arson, to fight for their rights to take part in electing their leaders. And in 1910, an International Socialist Women's Conference was organized, from which an annual Women's Day was proposed, with the aim of promoting equal rights, including women's suffrage. The following year, the first International Women's Day was celebrated by over 1 million people in Austria, Germany, Denmark, and Switzerland. The struggle for gender equality is one that still goes on and is far from being achieved. Through such initiatives spearheaded by the First Lady herself, we acknowledge that there is still so much to be done to ensure the dignity and respect for our women, who have for generations been left behind by retrogressive cultural practices, male chauvinism, and outright discrimination in access to opportunities. Here in Africa, for instance, majority of the urban and rural poor are women who also form a huge bulk of the uneducated segments of our societies. Women have borne the biggest brunt of civil wars, famine, disease, and climate change. The United Nations has over the years been wary of the numerous hurdles in promoting global gender equality and accordingly established the UN Women, which has celebrated National Women's Day with various themes. This year's theme, dubbed Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality, recognizes the impact of the gender gap on broadening socioeconomic inequalities. But the inequalities also exist in virtually all sectors of society, including sports, such as cycling and other motorsports, where women have largely been excluded by either default or design. Indeed, data available to us points to the skewed nature of importance placed on the various men and women's sports, with facts favoring the men's sports. For instance, it's a fact that we have more men than women occupying leadership positions in sport federations and in coaching, as well as in officiating roles. We will do all we can to address these disparities by being intentional in demanding for more inclusive representation in federations, in line with the Constitution of Kenya. Equally, we will be coming up with programs that enhance equal development of both men and women's sports. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, taking cycling as an example, we realize that although cycling is a fast-growing sport, there are still significant gender disparities with respect to participation levels, representation in leadership positions, and prize money awarded. The government, through the Ministry of Sports, intends to address these disparities by demanding remedial action from all stakeholders at different levels of cycling sports administration. Our State Department will also engage with the federations and other stakeholders to promote policies which can encourage more women to be involved in cycling, whose myriad benefits of both physical and mental well-being cannot be overemphasized. Cycling can also play a major role in fighting climate change by eliminating carbon emissions and reducing reliability on non-renewable energy. We would like to see more women get involved in cycling by promoting women cycling events and initiatives and working with the relevant institutions to address cultural and systemic barriers to their participation. These barriers, which also include factors such as race, class, and economic challenges, continue to inhibit women participation in sports. By addressing these challenges, Your Excellency, we are likely to create a more progressive, vibrant, and all-inclusive cycling society. The International Women's Day is a time to recognize the strength and power of solidarity, and it is in that spirit that we implore our male cyclists, and I'm glad I see a lot of our male cyclists here supporting our women cyclists, to support and amplify the voices of women in cycling. We urge men in cycling to be the champions for women cyclists by utilizing their privilege and networks to create more equitable and inclusive cycling culture. As I conclude, I'd like to assure all cyclists of the government's unwavering support to programs that can help them grow the cycling sport. We all agree that promoting green transport, such as cycling, go hand in hand with other environmental conservation efforts, such as cleaning up rivers, tree planting, and reducing carbon emissions, which are global obligations of all nations of the world. With those remarks, it's now my humble duty to welcome our chief guest, the First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Her Excellency Mama Rachel Ruto, to make her remarks. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much, PS. We may be seated. Principal Secretary for and the Arts, Jonathan Mweke. The South Korea Ambassador, Your Excellency Yeo Sang-san, together with your dear wife. Deputy Chief Conservator of Forests, Charity Munyasya. Dr. John Kennedy Muma Nyagetuba, CEO, AR Insurance, Deputy County Commissioner, Westland Sub-County, Mama Cycling Team, and the cycling community present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon again. I'm delighted to join you today on the Mama Cycling Awareness Ride, themed Share the Road, part of the activities to mark International Women's Day. I want to bring you greetings from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Our launch today is significant as it is aligned with the 2023 International Women's Day theme, Digit All, Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality, with a focus on embracing equality. Our theme campaign, Sharing the Road, highlights challenges on the road faced by cyclists, especially women cyclists. Cycling is a critical aspect of environmental sustainability, and we need to encourage the adoption of safe, non-motorized transport. This includes non-motorized transport considerations in the design of our roads. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to recognize women who have made a mark within our cycling community. Ms. Alice Kivuva, for putting Kenya on the global scene through the 5-star brand that most of us wear when riding. Where are you, Alice? That is Alice. Let's appreciate her. Cyprian Nyakundi and her team for creating awareness on the plight of cyclists and the need for motorists to share the road. Team Amani for unlocking international opportunities for professional cyclists. Migration gravel race hosted by Team Amani last year was an excellent showcase of our magical Kenya to the world. Miss Nancy Akinyi for bravely defying the odds while battling it out internationally on those dusty gravel roads. Well done, Nancy. Cycling Academy in Iten. This is very commendable and welcome initiative. I concur that if we build, they will come. Ladies and gentlemen, while cycling, you must have noticed we are now deliberately planting trees. Kenya is experiencing the worst drought in 40 years. My office has committed to planting and growing 500 million trees out of the president's target of 15 billion trees by 2032. Professor Wangare Maathai would say, when we plant trees, plant the seeds of peace and seeds of hope. We also secure the future for our children. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all plant trees. Let us protect our environment. let's take up cycling and ensure that we are all considerate of each other, even as we use the road. The motorists and other road users, let's share the road. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency, for the comments. And at this point, we are going to have two photo sessions. So